Hi, this is Luke Larson from Code Green. We are back for part 2 of creating a Flash animation tutorial. If you weren't able to catch part 1 of the Flash animation tutorial, I suggest you go back and get up to speed by watching that. It's about 7 or 8 minutes long, and then come back to this one. If you watch the first one, then we will continue forward editing the Flash file we'd already started. And what we'll do now is we'll take it and we'll turn our Flash video into doing something like this. Just a couple other little advanced features to get that to happen, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them, and it'll be easy to get there. I've got our old file open. This is where we left off, and we just had the Flash logo going back and forth with no fading. Earlier we talked about the properties panel down here at the bottom. We're going to use that now. Let's go and select keyframe number in frame number 1, and then we'll select our logo, and down here in the properties there's a color pull down, and we will select the alpha, and the default is 0, and you can set that to whatever you'd like, but we'd like it to start out at 0. And once again, that's only for the keyframe 1, so by the time we get to the keyframe on frame 15, it's fully the transparency's fully gone away. So let's do that same thing again on the last frame. So click on keyframe number 30 and select the element we want to edit, and the same thing, go to the color and select alpha 0. From there we can see that the animation fades in and out completely. In our example, in the middle section, we'd actually increased the size, and that's also easy to do if we just go to the middle keyframe, select our element we want to edit, and then this tool over here is the scale tool. So if we click that and scale it up a bit, and we'll see it gets bigger, and we can just kind of briefly look at that in the timeline, and yes, it does get bigger from start to end. So once again, if we go to the beginning and press return, we can watch it. And I just wanted to go over briefly now editing the speed of the movie. We can actually take these keyframes and drag them wherever we choose. So now from the middle point, which when it's big and when it's not transparent, to the end, it's going to go really slow because it has a lot of time to do that, where the first section is going to go fast. We can preview that and see how it changes like that based on where our keyframes are. So you can always go in and play around with the position of your keyframes to get the smoothness or the speeds that you want. But that is pretty much it for creating our animation. I encourage you to go through a lot of these other color elements and just play with them and add some different things and see what kind of effects you can get going. Another thing that you could look into is the filters. An item needs to be a movie clip to actually enable the filters, and we can get into that here briefly. If we go up to modify and convert to symbol, we can select movie clip, and once that's enabled, you can start adding all sorts of filters to your items. So I just barely put a glow around it, and you can see the black glow on the element. I'm going to just kind of back out of all that for now, but I encourage you to look into those and see what types of effects you can create. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to export this into something that we can load to the web. First of all, let's save our work here, and I'll just save the FLA to the desktop, and we can't take an FLA and put it on the web, so we need to export it as a SWF is what it's called. And if we go File and Export Movie, we will name it, and I'm going to save that to my desktop. So once that's saved, it's going to give us some export settings, and the default for what we're doing here is just fine. Usually the default will be fine for everything you do. So we'll just let that go, and now I'll open our test Swift, and you'll see that it plays it a lot more smoothly than what we had going on in our timeline in Flash when we just pushed enter. So this is fully rendered. It took off the gray area on the back, so we just have the white canvas, and now we have our animation that we can go ahead and upload to the internet. And this concludes our basic animation tutorial. I encourage you to visit our website and give us a look on any of our projects, and if you have any questions you can contact us through there or even chat with us through the website. The website address is codegreen.com. Green has an extra E on the end of it. And thank you.